Hey folks, PCoutcast here. Today we're taking a look at Stellar Monarch, which is a 4X strategy game, and well, the sales point is that you don't have to do any of the micromanagement and stuff, although I find that that's not entirely true. But still, I have been playing it quite a bit and I enjoy it. It doesn't have nearly as much micromanagement as things like Stellaris and stuff like that. But let's check it out. So we'll do, I don't know, I guess Birth the Empire. So you've got a lot of variations. You got a new empire starting up. You got the glory. You got a decent number of planets. The game's primarily designed for this mode. Declining. You start on turn 300. Aliens are already more advanced. Rebels are quicker to gather forces, etc. And a rebellion. You already have a rebellion going on, so you got to deal with that. I prefer starting with Birth of an Empire. And you can do young or old. Young, you have double the political points generated after each audience. Half cost for edicts. Lower chance of corruption, goes rampant event. The old empire starts with 25% more systems under imperial control. Allows higher court functions allowed higher court factions unbalanced before stability penalty kicks in, and you can bribe a courtier to change faction. That's interesting. Court option. Bribe them to change factions. Anyway, I usually just do Young Empire, and you can set all fleets to autonomous or not. Usually one starts out as autonomous. We'll go into that a little later. And you got your galaxy size. So let's just do normal, I guess. Difficulties, I kind of got my butt kicked on normal, so I lowered it. And I'm going to do that just so that I can actually show you how the game works. So you've got quick start, or you can go into create your empire, and you've got 12 points here. You can make some changes to your empire, your emperor, the character that you're playing, financier, sociologist, sorry. You can also change ethnicities. You can have names be Western, Eastern, Oriental. So a couple of different options. And mixed. I'll go with mixed. Advanced customization, you can change various settings, and you can do some Iron Man stuff as well. So there's lots of stuff. I'm just going to go for quick start. And here we go. These are sort of the main galaxy screen. This is your randomly generated galaxy. At the top here, you've got your empire thing where you can go and see your court. Audience starts in one turn. And check out all your courtiers. Currently, the Warlords faction is holding sway, so that's creating an instability. You want to try to have these as close to 20% as you can. So I think I'm going to promote him. It's going to give a little bit of a boost to the gene technologists faction. And then, she's significantly, well, she's more corrupt. So she has everybody has different settings, right? Competence, loyalty, corruption. So she's reasonably competent, she's quite loyal, and she's also quite corrupt, which is a bit of a problem. But this guy is incompetent, has lower loyalty, but also has lower corruption. So it's a bit of a trade-off. For some reason, the protocol courtiers, their competence doesn't matter. So you might want to move somebody who's incompetent over there. Actually, like this guy. This guy's got to go. He's terrible. 3, 2, and 3. No. Let's banish him from our court. And sure, let's promote her. And let's bring our stability down to -2, which isn't too bad. Higher stability causes rebels to increase. So up here you can see your rebel percentage. Right there, they got rebel strength and rebel power and rebel readiness. So once it gets to 100%, then they could potentially try to overthrow at least a planet. I don't think they try to. I've never actually had it happen, so I don't. I'm not sure if they tried to just overthrow one planet or the entire empire. Probably just one planet. For edicts, you can you can control your empire a little bit by selecting different things. Right now, it's set to colonization, so colonizing is 25% cheaper. You can set your justice, whether you have a magistrate, which increases the income each planet, happiness, loyalty, army morale, that sort of thing, right? Schools, you can teach them education so that you get more research points. Actually, I'm going to do that. That costs 50, that's fine. And each one costs more. Like if I wanted to change, say, this one, that's going to be 500, the next one's 5,000, and so on. So, and then you have to wait until the next, I think it's the next audience or the next era. I'm not sure. So that one doesn't give us any bonus. That one doesn't give any bonus. Let's do that, and I'm just going to see if when we get the audience next turn, if this resets. Intelligence gives you information on all the other races in the galaxy. So you got your civilized major races, your civilized minor races, and then you got rebels, pirates, parasites, which are a primitive, and they kind of come out of hibernation and attack everything in the area, and then they go back into hibernation. The Hive controls the vast majority of the galaxy at this stage, and they are vicious, pretty much. And the Annihilators is an event that may happen later on. It's alien invaders from another dimension. So you want to try to head that off. There is various choices you can take to try to prevent that from happening. And you can also do summary of your governors, courtiers. So right now, like governors, for example, are reasonably competent, not very loyal, and fairly corrupt. So that's not, corruption's around about the middle, competency is about the middle, and loyalty is a little low. So we probably want to go ahead, and when we have an option to eliminate those who are disloyal, we'll do that. So we'll bring the loyalty up. Same thing for your other, your courtiers, you can see, and your officers only have competence and loyalty, they don't have corruption. And rebels, you can see what the situation is with the rebels right now. And these are your victory conditions. You need to fulfill at least 10. And once you do, you can attempt to be coronated as, I don't know, emperor of the universe or ruler of the whole galaxy. There you go. So right now we have no rebel world, so we've already achieved that, but we have to increase our prestige, the number of planets we hold, our population, and so on, to get ourselves up the victory tree. So we'll see what the audience thing is in just a moment. So right now, let's see. We can look at our finances. This is our income, our expenses, how much we're losing to corruption and instability and things like that. Fleet upkeep is currently 28 and so on. So overall, we're making 773 per turn. And go to budget. We can rearrange things here a little bit. I tend to like to one of the events that can happen is you get an extra budget point. So I usually put that in defense, increase my defenses, and because that gets harder and harder. Like the aliens get stronger as the game goes on. Of course, you have to build up more fleet to defend your planets, but also if you increase your fleet, you can also have more defensive installations and infantry and stuff to prevent ground invasions and that sort of thing. Contracts is just something you can choose in the audience section. They give you little bonuses like extra ground combat and more protection against being poisoned as the emperor and all kinds of things like that. Industry allows you to adjust how what you're focusing on, are you growing more food, focusing on growing food or mining or whatever. Right now we have 51% food coverage, so only 51% of our people are being fed, and only 26% have electricity. So later on you're going to be able to level that up, and then we can probably just reduce both agriculture. Eventually you can reduce agriculture and gas refining, which is produces the electricity, and reduce those down to low. and maybe increase like something like services, which increases your amount of income. Manufacturing gives you free support of ships, and mining allows you to actually build ships. So mining is not an issue after a while. I find that you end up with so much minerals for building ships that it's just not even an issue. Rare resources, so there's lots of resources that give you various perks, and you want to take over planets that have those resources on them if possible. Research, you got your whole research tree, which I might as well just set up like right now. So we're going to do Guardian Hull's good. That is a destroyer, which protects your capital ships. And we'll say modernize factories and deep mines. That's going to give us 10% there. So we'll queue that up. Energy, you need theory first, and then we'll go for shields, I think. And then we'll go for nuclear power. Scanners, sure. We'll go for Electro Scholar. That gives us some extra research points per turn. And brain transfer, more research points, always good. Fertilizers, that'll increase the effectiveness of our farms by 50%, huge bonus. And soap opera broadcasting, more luxury, oh yeah. And education propaganda, more research points. Definitely want that. We want as much research as possible. So that is that. And then fleet, we can see what's going on. So currently the blue mobile defense force is autonomous, and its orders are to react to conquer planet orders. Now, you can just move them yourself. You could set all these to autonomous if you want. They probably won't do a very good job of defending your realm, so I like to position them myself. Also look at the officers, their competence and loyalty for each fleet. And you can change the makeup of each squadron here, and then you can increase or decrease the number of squadrons over there. So I'm actually gonna take control of this fleet. There we go. Now let's see, we've got just enough resources to colonize a planet. So this only has a little bit of resources, that has a little bit of food, that has a lot of food. Those water worlds are really good, so you want to get those as soon as you can. That one has nothing on it. That one has a couple of a little bit of mining. Food and mining, nothing. Food and gas, nothing there. Yeah, Oh, it does have a luxury resource, so that'll be good at some point, but I think we're gonna go with this one because it's give us food and gas, which is something we definitely need. I'm gonna move that fleet up to there, and I guess that's it. And also look at this, current disaster, population is dying because of lack of electricity. This happens on lava worlds, which need air conditioning basically, and ice worlds that need heating. And yeah, apparently they are not doing very well. Industry, that shows you how many ships were built and how many minerals that cost, and also how long it'll take approximately for them to be finished and for them to transfer into squadrons. And the miscellaneous is, guess what? We're a new empire and a new emperor. So there we go. Let's go over to that. Research has been completed. Yes. So we'll just let that carry on. They're just going to carry on to the next level. We built 5 escort ships. You can also just click on all and scroll through them. So this is all the resources, or all the research that was completed. And that new courtier was appointed to replace the one we fired, and she is fantastic. High compliance, high loyalty, low corruption. I mean, basically as good as you can get. Just letting us know that this squadron moved up. And we've explored a new uninhabited world. We can go find that. That's over there. And another one over there. So slowly you'll get two or three planets explored each turn. And eventually, you'll know everything, every planet in the galaxy. And it is Audience Day. Hordes of annoying Imperial officials, alien ambassadors, mad scientists, etc., are here to invade your privacy. Alright, so we have various options here that we're going to have to go through. So, storyline, threat from another dimension. My liege, we found a disturbing data pod in our Imperial archives. It's an ancient text that says our galaxy is invaded once every 10,000 turns by some unknown aliens. Those brutes, as the text claims, don't desire to conquer us, but to eradicate from the existence. Oh, sorry. Well, that's not very good. All of us, all sentient beings. We made initial calculations, and it adds up. I urge you, my liege, to pursue this matter further. So we can have him just continue. It'll progress at standard pace, or we can speed it up a little bit for some 1,000 credits. I'm not going to bother doing that. Conspiracy to overthrow the Emperor. There's another sort of storyline within the game. We're going to investigate on our own. Assassin. Great. Some madman planted an explosive in the palace. Some archives were destroyed. Until the Imperial clerks restore the documents, the Empire will suffer a stability penalty. Well, that's just fabulous. Internal affairs. I mean, they're all pretty good, so firing them is probably not that great of an idea. Yeah, wonderful. So, an assassin nearly killed me. You're not dead. Your superior genetic makeup makes you hard to kill. Plus, we have the best medical equipment in the palace. I'm sorry that the palace guard failed you. Well, I don't have 5,000 credits to heal me up, so I'm going to have to take a prestige hit. Which is not that big of a deal. Prestige eventually goes through the roof, so it's okay. My liege, the court awaits your speech. Let's choose a topic to inspire them. Okay, so we're going to go over to summary and see what our courtiers need. Well, loyalty is lower than competence. Corruption is relatively high. I mean, it's really, really hard to get these things like ideal, because people die, people leave, whatever. So there's a constant shuffling around. So you got to keep monitoring that and see if you can improve things at all. So we're gonna do a speech on loyalty. So that gives a 25% chance for each courtier to get +1 loyalty. So that should help a little bit. The staff of military administration has collectively decided to stay longer hours and make an additional effort. What should they focus on? Cost savings, we can get an extra 2,000 credits. We can have all of our officers have a 10% chance for +1 loyalty, and that will cost 1,000. We can have each admiral of competence 6 or less has a 50% chance to be fired, and each admiral of loyalty 6 or less has also 50% chance of being fired. So we could try and improve our admirals. I think I'm just going to take the money. Take the money and run, man. That's just as well, because now we took a hit here. So each governor has a 5% chance for +2 corruption. Lovely. Spend $3,000, which we absolutely do not have. Not really. Well, sure, we'll do that. And there's only a 5% chance for -1 loyalty. Yuck. We'll do a request for review on governors. So this means in the next audience, we'll be able to see what the status is of our governors and either replace the disloyal ones or the corrupt ones or the incompetent ones. That. And on which major power should we focus our diplomatic efforts? So we can just skip it, grab 5 prestige, or we can improve relations with one of these 3 major factions. So we currently do not border any of the major ones. The Tassetians are a minor race, so I think I'm just going to take the prestige this time. Not that that's really that important, but whatever. And this also doesn't really matter because we don't know where they are. That's Courtiers. I think that's also a minor race. These are Hive. Tassetians, Telmac, that's also a minor race. Okay, we're probably going to run into the Vix first. We'll have a bonus 10% damage against their ships, just in case we have to fight them. These don't really make any difference, the nukes and chems. They don't do, well, chemical weapons reduce the population by 50%, but you can only use them against primitives, which is basically the Hive, for the most part. You can't, it's immoral and illegal and whatever to use it against civilized races, so you can't use them against that anyway. Nukes actually make the planet immediately lose, whoever's controlling it immediately loses control over it, and it is uninhabitable for 10 turns and then has slow growth for 100 turns. So if you plan on like taking that planet for yourself, it's kind of a waste of time. But if you maybe want to do some sort of strategic bombing thing to blockade them from you or something, that might be beneficial. Otherwise, the chemical stuff doesn't really make any difference, because gradually, if you take over a planet of primitives like the Hive or something, you will just slowly reduce their population over time anyway. So I don't know. I don't know what the point is of that. I think maybe it's supposed to have more impact than it does, but anyway, here we got so for 1,000 credits, which is going to put us into the red, well into the red. We get 10% bonus to Empire's poisoned event, so we're just going to forget about that. And there's another page, which just has a visiting admiral. I'm pleased with your performance. He's got good competence, competent officers, and his officer's loyalty isn't too bad, so there you go. Okay, next turn. All right, so it takes a few turns for this to, for colonization to take place, as you can see. Let's see, we are currently negative money, which is not good. That means miscellaneous, we're losing prestige, and this increases each turn. So I think what I'm going to do, got 2 turns, I'm going to go to very high. It's not going to make a big difference. I'm just going to switch taxes to very, very high to help with that a little bit. Because it goes 2, and I don't think it's exponential. I think it's just 1, 2, 3. But it could very well be 1, 2, 4, 8, and so on. We'll see. But I think we're gonna go into the black right now. There you go. Then go back to that. Otherwise, people are super unhappy, and we don't want them to be unhappy. Okay, so we got that one. That has boosted our food coverage and our electricity, which is excellent. This one is lots of food. That has some minerals and gas. Not much there, not much there. Really not. I'm surprised that lava planets usually have gas, but not that one. Yeah, let's do that one and we'll move them forward. All right, keep going. The parasites have woken up now. Where would that be? There? No, that's Hive. Okay, well, we don't even know where the parasites are. They're out here somewhere, and they apparently are not happy. They're on a rampage. A breeding, murdering rampage. Also move some of our things around. I don't know what this... Oh, you just get a combat penalty for being... having too many ships in one place. But they're not going to be fighting anything there, so that's fine. Let's move those guys forward. And we don't have enough money to colonize another thing, so we'll wait to the next turn. I think we still don't have enough. I think we need 2250. Not that there is that... Oh, there you go. There's the parasites right there. We might want to move some ships in that direction. Yeah, let's move these guys down. This is our strongest fleet right now. Oops. our strongest fleet at the moment, so we'll just move them down there in case they decide to attack. I mean, they should attack here. That's what they do. They attack everything. That has nothing. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for the food planet there. And somehow I ended up with these guys. Don't know how that happened. And yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll just move this up here too. Might as well. Might as well spread out. I'll move this guy down here too. Research 5 have been completed. So let's do turrets. That's 5% damage to ship and planetary installation weapons. Take that, sounds good. Maneuverability boosters and fast fighters also sounds like a good plan. Tactical adjustment. Let's do that one. And that one, I guess. We'll do clean water, so our planets can grow faster, and armor and thrusters also sounds good. Propaganda, lots of happiness. Just tell them that everything's fine and they'll believe you. There you go. Oh, and we've got VIX over here too, so it's probably just as well that we chose the VIX. Oh, apparently the parasites are kicking the VIX's butt over here. Look at that. Parasite, parasite, parasite everywhere. They only, like I said, they only come out for a few turns and then they disappear, so that's fine. Do I have enough money for another? No, not quite. And we've got our first battle. So this is against pirates. We've got 5 pirates there. That's not going to be a problem. So you can observe the battle like that. You can't directly control anything. You can just next phase. Continue. Nope. Well, apparently we won. Okay. And then they are attacking this planet. It's being defended by planetary installation. That's fine. Everything seems good. I think I'm gonna move this guy there and move him there. And we can populate something. Also going, yeah, I really would like some more gas refineries, but we don't have any of that anywhere. Food, we got food and gas there. Okay, let's do a food one there that also has a luxury resource. So that sounds good. I'm gonna move them up there. Move these guys there. So we're probably gonna have to defend against the hive over here. Things have been moved around. Colonization's been completed here. We can also go, this is the one thing that kind of irritates me a bit. You can go to administration and you have these subsidies that you can do. So subsidize force, subsidize defense, subsidy defenses on this planet. It will boost maximum defensive installations by 100% and maximum infantry by 200% and double reinforcement speed. It expires at the end of the era, and that is the big problem. Is you have a big empire, when a new era starts, you got to go around and click, 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 and click the subsidies on all of those planets again. I wish there was a way to just automate that, but I guess not. You can also look at the economy for each planet. Right now, development is very low, and governor's competence is only 4. That's unfortunate. And we've got 12 infantry, which is not very much. Oh, pardon me. Oh, big yawn. Okay. Carrying on. Now we got another audience. Assassins. Bloody traitors. My liege, emergency. Our sophisticated medical scanners detected a suspicious substance in your blood. You were poisoned by some unknown treacherous persona or organization. Although the immunity drugs we feed you every day protects you from imminent death, we must immediately put you into cryochambers for several turns to cure you properly. Unfortunately, you won't be able to oversee the Empire properly during the time, so stability penalty is unavoidable. Ugh. Okay, so we can choose 30% immunity to the next one for the next 20 turns. So the next poison event. Or we can remove the courtiers with 4 loyalty or lower, or 6 loyalty or lower. So let's take a look at the courtiers. He's gonna go, he's gonna go, she's gonna go, and he's gonna go. So we're gonna lose 4. 2 of them are from the traditionalists faction. 1 is from the warlords. That's not too bad. This one's not very good. We're gonna lose some of the cancelists. Cancelists? I don't know what that even means. Right, so that's gonna shuffle things up, and then we get a random, like the new courtiers will be of random factions, so we don't know how that's going to affect this over here. Yeah, let's get rid of those. Might as well. In this case, they were able to stop the assassin. I can either support the warlords, so the traditionalists take -1 loyalty, or the warlords, I take -1 loyalty, or I can lose prestige and cost 200 credits. I'm gonna do that. Prestige in the long run is far less important than having your courtiers go all disloyal on you. Alright, this is a good one. We can reduce the readiness and power of the rebels. I don't. Yeah, they're currently at 0, so that doesn't matter. We can take some money. We can have 30% immunity to the poison effect thing for 30 turns. Or we could progress the conspiracy to overthrow the empire, or emperor storyline. Well, let's advance that. We're not going to be able to see it in this episode anyway, but yeah. Okay. This is a bad one. Rebel readiness increases. Each governor has a 20% chance to lose 1 loyalty. Each officer has a 5% chance to gain 1 loyalty. Fire all courtiers from the Justice Department. Probably not a great idea. Or we can spend 3,000 credits. Let's do that. I don't know. I don't think that's going to make that much difference to anything, really. We can spend 80 credits to improve our relations with the VIX. Gain access to their satellite network, recon all their planets. I think I'm going to take the plus 20% damage versus ships, just in case they decide to attack. Enter over there. We'll have a better chance against their ships. Should we shake things up as far as the governors are concerned? Okay, let's take a look at the governors. They're currently above average competence, below average loyalty, and about average corruption. So we're going to eliminate the disloyal ones. And finally, the admirals visiting. Not very good competence or loyalty. We could fire him. We could install a political officer, which will increase loyalty. That's probably a good idea. Let's do that. All right, now let's just take a quick look at our summary. Yeah, like that made a big difference to the loyalty, but we also got more corruption because the new guys were more loyal, but they're also more corrupt. So that's unfortunate. I don't know how you're loyal and corrupt. That kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, but okay, we can also change some of these. Competence. New governors start with more competence, less corruption, more happiness, greater communication range. So basically what that means is like your planet is obviously, your home world is like 1, right? 1 distance, and everything around it is sort of 1. And as you get further out, you get 2. So now you take, the ones have a loyalty bonus, and you have no negative tax collection stuff. If you go over here, you get a tax hit and less loyalty. You go further out, 3s you have no loyalty bonus and so on. So if you increase the communication range, eventually this one, even though it's a 3 right now, will drop down to a 2. And so I doubt it would drop down to a 1 at any time, but anyway, it basically makes your empire more efficient. So what was I doing? Oh yes, looking at this. I'm thinking corruption's probably going to be better. That will reduce the... Oh dear. Okay, yeah, so it must be per... This resets on the era, not after an audience. So I have to wait to the next era. Anyway, okay, and we're well past the half-hour mark. This gives you a fairly good idea of like what's going on in the game. I think we didn't really get into combat with other aliens yet, but yeah, I think that at least gives you a pretty good idea of what the game's about. I've been having some fun with it, and you know, it's pretty simplistic. It runs really easy because the graphics are low, so if you want to play this on a potato computer like mine, you will have no problem doing that. And yeah, I'll leave a link in the description to buy the game on Steam if you're interested in it. Right, so we'll see you next time.